Really?
It's like the end of it.
This is the end of this one, yeah.
How was Vineland?
Vineland was cool, man.
Surprisingly good. I thought it was going to be as bad.
Yeah, I lived like 20
I
minutes.
feel like I didn't know that people went to that venue.
This is actually an hour closer to me. I live in Morristown. I was gonna go see I was gonna go see the One Years there just a couple weeks ago. 2.5 hours drive.
Yeah.
It's too rough.
It's because it's like kind of in a weird part of the state.
It's like South Jersey. So it's supposed to be like a 1,000-person venue. South Jersey.
Yeah, it's like 800 cap or something.
Yeah.
Which is weird because they program.
Been there
it
once.
like
I saw stage today there.
They typically program it like a 200 cap venue, so there's like not a lot of kids.
Oh really?
But there was like almost 200 kids yesterday, and it wasn't too bad. Usually kids hang out like to the side, but they didn't.
Because here there's where's the real theater? The big one.
Downstairs, I think.
Downstairs, and then they get like 100 or 200 here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna start it here. Hopefully this will catch you guys. Just say your name and say what you do in the band.
I'm Nick. I play bass and sing.
I'm Justin. I play guitar.
All right. So recently you guys released your new album. Would you consider it your debut album, or do you consider like you have a bunch of past releases that you put out?
Yeah,
together?
I would say it's definitely our debut full length because everything else, like before we met, it's 10 songs, but it's kind of like mismatch, kind of compilation sort of thing.
Just everything you put out before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like an EP. We did when we first started off. We did this like Hung Up on Nothing CD, and then like we got approached by like Panic Records to do like 4 more songs for it. So we did that and just like kind of pieced it together and put it out just to see what kids thought. And we were most nervous about Real Talk. You know what I mean? It was like we're going in, we're recording like 16 songs. Like
Because before we met was like, oh, we have an old thing. We have one song that Arlington Drive was already recorded. We're going to record 4. This was like we're going in. We recorded like 18 songs. And we had to pick what songs we wanted to go on the record and what was on the side. So it was kind of a bigger deal, I guess.
So, like, I guess leading up to coming out, were you guys more nervous when you were recording the songs, knowing that it was like your full release, or were you more nervous once it got out there and waiting for it to hear what people thought about it?
I think we were most nervous waiting for it to come out because we were worried about it leaking and what we were going to do if it did leak.
Anytime you release anything, it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a 3-song CD, like it'd be 1 song, you get nervous. You know what I mean? Like you put yourself out there for kids to like bash you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, anytime it's nervous, but this was like we wanted to like rope kids and be like, yo, we're not like messing around. Like we know we're not like we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like hopefully you get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
it's been cool. Kids have been getting it.
So how do you feel now that basically everybody is giving you 5 out of 5 stars or 10 out of 10 stars, however they rate it? Everyone's giving you all these great ratings. How's that feel for you guys after you've been
like,
been nervous all the time?
Yeah, it's been like, you know, a load taken off your shoulders, like relax for a minute and like let kids listen to it a lot and then go to work again. You know what I mean? We got a lot of songs, so we're just gonna keep putting stuff out as much as we can.
So you have more songs that didn't make it on the album.
Between me and Zach, we have like a back catalog. You know what I mean?
For Real Talk, there's the 12 songs that are on the album, and then I think we recorded 6 more songs, one of which we didn't even finish. It kind of got scrapped. And then there's one on like the international copies. There's one on the vinyl. There's one on the digital download. There's one for the pre-order, and then there's one that we haven't done anything with yet. It's just sitting in a computer somewhere. So I mean, we kind of have a lot of stuff, and we already have plans to record more stuff already.
So how is like you said you have a lot of songs. How's the writing process go? Do you guys try and do it when you're home, try and do it on the road, or just whenever it happens?
It's usually whenever something fucked up happens. Honestly, you know, like everything we write about isn't like made up.
Yeah.
It's all like happens. So like I don't know. We all go through shit, especially on tour. You mean you're away from your family. Problems happen. So I mean, whenever something happens, usually it just comes out. It's never like let's sit down and do it. You know what I mean?
Just whatever comes down.
Yeah, and I met Zach. Zach's been like a songwriter his whole life, and same. And we're just like, I got this, and he's like, I got this. I'm like, we start a band. I was like, yeah, cool. You know, so
that's pretty much how it all started.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Zach kind of has some songs where he just brings them to practice, and then they get put together. And then there's some songs that he has that are already good to go. And I know, like, we played a show in Texas a couple weeks ago, and the night before we had stayed at our friend's house who had an old demo from like our old band, and he had like this song that we never used. It's like, holy fuck, like that song rules. Like I want to use that. Yeah. So like we're probably gonna end up using that song. That's like, you know, from Zach probably wrote when he was like 16 or 17 or something. You know, he's like 23 or something.
And you were guys talking about you know, having all this material, and you are re-releasing the split you guys did with Transit on
Yeah.
vinyl. What was the original run on that, and why did you decide to repress it on vinyl when you can easily just keep it up there on your MP, like on iTunes or Amazon MP3?
Oh well, I mean, the original pressing was 1,000, and it was like 500 of one color and then 200 and 300. But I mean, people usually we sell them pretty decently. So and you know, like I'm a vinyl nerd, so I thought it would be cool to do. We have different labels. The labels now are our merch guy.
Who's playing there tonight?
This band called Fireworks.
Any good?
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
Where y'all from?
Jersey.
Oh, you come over from Jersey to see fireworks?
Mama, yeah.
Wow.
We're playing.
Wow. That's good. You'll enjoy yourself. Don't hang out here too much, or this is a bad neighborhood.
I ain't
At
scared.
night time.
We live next to
Bunch of
Camden,
crazy
so it's
people.
okay.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, be good. Take care.
So anyway, the split.
Big fan.
Number one fan.
So yeah, I mean, I'm a vinyl nerd. I like collecting vinyl, so I the fact that we have that on vinyl, I think it's cool to do another pressing. So we did like different labels. The label now is on our side. We have our best friend James Corey, who does merch for us, and is in a band called True Things. We have I would say embarrassing picture of him, and then on the other side we have Transit's merch guy, and a relatively embarrassing picture of him. We did some new colors and stuff. So
Mind you, when we did the split, like we thought no one was gonna like care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we've been friends with Transit forever, so we sat in the studio and did it. We're like, yo, we're friends. Let's just do a split and see what happens. And for us to have to like order more is just cool. We're like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Was that after you guys both were on run for cover? You guys.
this was way the split was planned like before. Me and Zach were in Man Overboard. We were in a different band, and that band met Transit and played with them. We were always like, oh yeah, we should do a split. We should do a split. Just like always talking. And then that band broke up, and then it actually like materialized with Man Overboard. I forget what I was gonna say, but
So the split's been planned for.
yeah, it's been planned for a while.
So is that why you guys are still releasing vinyl? Because you were saying you're a vinyl nerd. Is that why you think vinyl is still surviving and like with kind of lesser known bands or smaller bands still releasing vinyl? Is that more expensive than pressing CDs?
It's definitely pretty. It depends how many you get,
Yeah.
and like there's a lot of like tricks that you can do to get cheaper vinyl. Like we run a label called Lost Tape, and I just did a 7-inch for this band Basement, who actually just signed a run for cover for their LP, and like it's definitely pretty expensive to do vinyl, but I think there's a certain value created by the vinyl that like you don't get out of a CD, because like you can like turn the volume all the way down and it's still spinning and you can hear it. Like it's actually there. Whereas a CD, I feel like just throw it out the window.
Right. It doesn't really have any meaning.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it is pretty expensive to do, but I think it's kind of worth it to people. And it's usually like $2 more than the CD or something.
So it ends up nothing.
Yeah, it's not too crazy.
So you mentioned Lost Tape. Does Man Overboard run that Lost Tape collector? What is that?
Pretty much, I did most of the stuff for right now. I did the first like 6 releases. Nick's gonna be working on this band Shotgun Bang. Their drummer's actually filming for us right now. But we did Basement, True Things, which is James Corby's band, a couple of European bands, and like one of our own hardcore bands. But yeah, we're kind of gonna all work at it together.
That's very cool. So now I just have basic questions that I ask people. What are some of your favorite places to play when you're on tour?
Massachusetts
is always good.
Philly, Jersey, Florida.
Philly's my favorite place to play anywhere, but that's like our hometown. So yeah, we played Chain Reaction on this tour.
How was that?
And it was awesome. It was like definitely one of the best shows of the tour.
Fell in love with Portland.
Yeah, Portland was cool.
So cool.
Massachusetts is always good to us. Detroit's always cool. We played some good shows in Florida and Texas on this tour. That was neat. Later this year, we're going to Japan and Europe. So
Has ever been there before?
yeah, I've been to Europe before, but none of us have ever been to Japan, so that should be like an experience.
So what do you guys think like when you're you're in New Jersey, you're in Philly, right? Or wherever you guys are based there, and you go out to like Texas, Portland, California, you go to Chain Reaction where so many awesome shows have happened, or up in Boston or wherever Massachusetts, where so many awesome shows have happened. How do you feel when you see everybody coming to shows for you or coming to shows?
The weirdest thing in the world.
Singing along with your friends.
Completely humbled by it. You know what I mean? You're sharing the stage with, so many bands that's done it before you, and you're like, kids are coming out and singing your lyrics. You're like, nothing can top that feeling. You know what I mean? It's cool.
And now, what bands, not necessarily on this tour, but what bands that are playing now are some of your favorite bands to watch and listen to, and just enjoy?
All the bands I've been listening to are seriously like my friends' bands. Honestly, like Balancing Composure, Transit, like Fireworks, Wonder Years, Total Fight, like all those bands we listen to. I think bands outside of that realm, I like Phoenix.
Yeah.
Phoenix is cool.
That's the other cool thing about the label, because like, oh my God, there's a beat.
Hit it. Holy
That was pretty nice.
Mr. Me.
But the cool thing about doing the label is like all the bands that are on there, like AYS, Basement, Smile and Burn. They were kind of just bands that I met at some point, aren't like too big, but I just enjoy listening to. So now it's cool to actually be able to like put out their records and stuff. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I noticed. I've interviewed like I guess a lot of bands in the scene or in like pop punk, like the Wonder Years and This Time Next Year, and they all kind of mention all the same bands. So it seems like as I travel outside, it seems like the family's getting bigger and bigger. But it seems like there's 10, 20 bands that are all touring together and all listening to each other and all supporting each other.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like you like we're on this tour with Transit, Swellers, Fireworks for a month and a half. So it's kind of like you hear them every night.
Yeah.
So you leave the show and you have Fireworks songs stuck in your head. So kind of is like forced to become your favorite band.
So what are you guys' thoughts on, I guess, the genre of pop punk in general? It seems in the past few years with all these bands putting out great releases that it's almost made a revival. Do you think that's the case, or do you think that it just kind of never went away and it's just people are just discovering it again?
No, I think it definitely went away. I mean, it started to get done the wrong way by a lot of bands, you know what I mean? And kind of got just oversaturated, people were starting to hear the same. I mean, like this is like a Fall Out Boy song, you know what I'm saying? It kind of got oversaturated where you heard the same thing, you knew this was coming, you knew that part was coming, you knew that part was coming, and then you put this next band on, same shit, and then I don't know,
you got kind of commercialized too,
it got real commercialized. Then you meet all your friends and they're like, I want to sound like that. And you're like, yeah, so do I. Can I hear your band? You play it. You're like, this is what I mean. You're like, yeah, that's what I mean. And I don't know, I kind of it definitely had a real vibe. I wouldn't call it a real vibe, but
yeah, I just think there's more good bands out there.
Yeah, it's just more good music again.
People are kind of trying to do something original.
Just trying to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I feel like all the bands that are coming up, like Tigers Raw, Bounce, and everybody, nobody sounds the same.
Yeah.
We all play poppy stuff like Fireworks, but you put a Fireworks record in, a Man Overboard record, you could distinguish.
It's very different.
Same thing with Tigers Raw and then Balance and Trans, it's all separate shit.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's what's making it work.
Even more when I think of Balance, I think more like Manchester Orchestra or something like that.
I'm going to see them in November.
I want to see
Manchester
them so
or Balance.
I'm going to see Balancing Composure they're playing with Title Fight and Bayside.
Yeah, true, that's cool.
Our retarded merch guy's going to be on that tour. You'll see him.
Oh my God. You probably won't, because he's probably going to be
drinking Four Loko.
Yeah, drinking Four Loko and not selling merch.
He just found Four Loko. He's like, I never had this. Then he started drinking. I'm like, this is going to be a terrible night.
We were in Virginia and I found that stuff and we went out drinking and I left it in my friend's fridge. He moved out and it's just in that fridge for whoever moves in.
It tastes like rubbing alcohol and Hawaiian punch.
Sounds excellent.
In the jug. Terrible.
That's pretty much it for me, guys.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool question.
I feel like I should let this be out.
No.